I feel amazing today.
From yesterday's games?
No, I'm high on opium.
Ah, Matthew, you silly bastard.
Oh, hello. Join us for a discussion of the conference championship games. Everyone's talking about deflated balls, but enough about Mike McCarthy's in-game decision-making.
And I appreciate a good scrappy underdog story, so the Seahawks' comeback victory made me feel great about my former assistant, Paul Allen.
It's about time he caught a break.
Yes, I feel great for little Scooter.
This is The Sporting Gentleman. Welcome to The Sporting Gentleman. I'm Matt Ufford, joined by Daniel Rubenstein. Welcome, sir.
Thank you for having me. How you doing?
Wow, as a Seahawks fan who watched that nightmarish and then ultimately astounding, miraculous
you're
comeback,
alive. Congratulations.
I do feel like I was in a 30-car wreck and just walked away without a scratch.
I saw the range of emotions that you went through during that game, and it's a miracle that you're here today.
It is. I feel very fortunate to be here. Let's pick out 4 faces for our Mount Rushmore.
Let's do it.
Pick your first primetime performer.
All right, we'll start with the Seahawks. Marshawn Lynch, the one consistent thing, well, the defense was great overall for Seattle, but on offense, with all of the turnovers, the 4 picks from Russell Wilson, the one consistent thing, picking up the yardage, getting those third downs. Seattle was still great on third downs.
They were.
Marshawn Lynch, not even just the beast mode stuff on the ground, huge catch through the air, extending plays, extending drives. He was the all-star of all-stars for Seattle. 183
total yards, a big touchdown, a conversion on 3rd and 6 when they ran the ball, got picked up 11 yards. Huge game for him. I'm going to talk about that defense.
Yes.
Richard Sherman is my pick. Just the face of a defense that, of course, he had a great interception, played bump and run against all-pro wide receiver Jordy Nelson with one arm.
Yep.
That's a defense that held the Packers to 3 of 14 on third down.
The best passing game in the NFL, at least the best quarterback in the NFL. It was a completely admirable job. Amazing
job by the Seahawks defense in total. Richard Sherman gets the nod from that team.
Yeah, just imagine, he has a backup who had 2 working arms and elbows, and Seahawks were like, no, we're good.
Yeah, that would be Tharold Simon, who got torched by Cam Newton the week before. That's probably the right decision. Let's move on to the Patriots' destruction of the Colts. Who's your pick for the face on Mount Rushmore?
Deflated ball accusations aside, Bill Belichick, year in and year out, and I want to just focus on the Colts game, just because he doesn't have the most talented receiving core. He may have the most talented, one of the most 3 talented quarterbacks in football, but the fact that he keeps changing and adjusting his offense, other than Gronk, doesn't have huge playmakers on the outside. You know, LeGarrette Blount, he rode, obviously, I like to call him East Mode.
East Mode?
He was the East Coast Beast Mode.
Sure.
But he rode what worked, and he was every play, it seemed like he knew where 7 yards of open field were going to be. Whether it was the fly sweep, whether it was screens, whether it was, again, throwing to a left tackle in Nate Solder for that touchdown, he always seemed to be one step ahead.
The Andrew Luck era Colts have now played the Patriots 4 times.
Yeah.
They have never been within closer than 20 points.
It's unbelievable.
They just get blown out because of Bill Belichick.
Yeah, it's varsity against JV every time they meet up.
It's not fair.
No.
I'm going to go from that game. You brought him up, LeGarrette Blount.
Yes.
Mr. East Mode.
Holy.
150 plus yards, 3 touchdowns. You were saying something, first running back to ever score 3
touchdowns multiple times in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Just completely dominant and unbelievable.
Released by the Pittsburgh Steelers earlier this year. I believe they needed a running back in the playoffs, didn't they?
Oops, and he did, in their defense, just walk off the field and onto the bus. But yes, LeGarrette Blount, go Ducks by the way, just paced them and did everything on 3rd and 4s, 5.5 yards, and it just destructive.
Yeah, however, we've now talked about the good, we must now also address the bad.
Please.
We break out the gong of sadness. Alexander! These are our half-wits of the week. I'm gonna open mine up and say, ooh, Mike McCarthy! As much as we have celebrated the Seahawks for their fantastic, ballsy, gutsy, miraculous comeback, instead of kicking field goals, if they had gone for a touchdown converted on either time they were inside the 2-yard line with 4th and goal.
Because you get so many opportunities against the Seahawks defense inside the 2, right?
They just needed 1 more point. If they'd gotten 1 touchdown instead of 2 field goals, they would have won that game.
You deserve everything you get, even if you win. But if any sort of terrible, terrible outcome as a result of a lack of killer instinct, I was like, yeah, That's what you get against a great team, not taking advantage of situations that are presented to you. And so for mine, it's not quite on that level, but Andrew Luck, who is a legitimately very, very good NFL quarterback. Usually he is. Made some astoundingly bad throws. He's got talent to throw to. He's got 2 good tight ends. He's got T.Y. Hilton. Highlighted by this interception, or the interception, I guess, of the playoffs.
Roll the tape.
Roll the tape! Throwing across the field towards Darrelle Revis.
12 out of 33, 2 interceptions, 0 touchdowns, and a whopping 3.8 yards per attempt.
Not nearly good enough. For whatever reason, Andrew Luck has a playoff problem, and that's where we're at right now. We've seen a sample size.
He is the true successor of Peyton Manning.
He is the true. He totally makes sense with I gotta be better. I gotta be better. And that's the only difference. That's the voice.
That works for me.
Yes.
We close with a bit of advice, and this is for you, NFL fans. Go on vacation right now.
Yes.
Retire to a private island in the Caribbean or go skiing in the Alps. You need to check out because the 2 weeks between the conference championships and the Super Bowl are awful. There is nothing of worth in the sports news cycle. Just go relax and drop your phone in the sand. Check back in at 3 p.m. on February 1st and enjoy the Super Bowl, but man, there is nothing going on, and I say this as someone who's going to be in Arizona producing valuable media content. You don't need to watch it. We'll see you on February 1st.
I'm going to the hometown buffet, which is what I call it when I buy a number of towns and then sell them for parts.
Well done. Thank you for watching The Sporting Gentleman. We'll see you next time.